Peggy, and I try to upload these vlogs every once in a while and just kind of keep you guys posted about my personal lymphedema journey. And today is one of those days where I'm not going to be that upbeat and encouraging. I'm going to be a little bit serious and kind of tell you what's going on with me. So I uploaded a week or so ago and told you that I'd been having some issues with swelling in my leg and my abdomen. I don't go to the doctor often. I take care of myself holistically. I'm very careful about what I eat. I do massages every day. I lay out my chi machine every day. I wear my compression garments. Very, very, very picky about what I surround myself with as far as chemicals, any toxins. I use all natural cleaners and detergents and deodorant and toothpaste. Like, I'm very, very careful. I take very good care of myself because I understand that my lymphatic system is compromised and my body can't handle all the junk, like a quote unquote normal person could. So that said, even though I do take very good care of myself, I do overdo it. I work too much. I stand on my feet too much. I don't sleep enough. There are all those things that I don't do that I should do, and I know that I push my limits. And so when I have little flare-ups, normally I think, I probably overdid it. I need to do this, I need to do that. And normally I can get these little flare-ups under control. However, this whole right leg swelling thing, my lymphedema in my left leg and abdomen, 21 years. So, I get it, been there, done that. But my good leg swelling, that's been a challenge both physically and emotionally. It's been super frustrating because I can't seem to figure out what I need to get this under control. So I decided I was going to go to a doctor. Now, I know that a lot of you go to the doctor first thing, and that's good if that works for you. It's just me personally, not my first choice. I do really work hard to work with organizations like Learn that are doing an amazing job trying to get the medical profession educated, trying to get information out there, trying to let them know what lymphedema is, how can we, get this diagnosed and treated. So with all that said, the first 8 years that I had lymphedema, I was undiagnosed. In that time, I went to doctor after doctor, had all sorts of crazy pills prescribed to me, all sorts of crazy things told to me. And once I was diagnosed, I was like, yay, everything's gonna be fine. Not so much, because doctors still didn't know what to do and still gave me bad advice and blah, 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 which brought me to 8 years ago when I took charge of my own health and, took things in my own hands. In that time, I've been very active in different organizations and different things. And I really felt like, hey, we're making progress. The medical community is getting it. Like, people are getting diagnosed. People are getting treated. This is good. We're doing great. And I'm sure we are. But I'm kind of feeling like a little too little, a little too late. In other words, we still have a long ways to go. And I had that slap in the face wake up call this week. So I went to the doctor. I did not have a primary doctor. I've been in LA for several years now. Well, a few years now. But I didn't bother to get a doctor because I don't like going to doctors. So I just kind of picked, hey, this will be my primary. I, called and got everything switched over to LA and went in. And the doctor says, what are you here for? What do you need? What's going on? And I said, well, several things are going on. So let me first tell you a little bit of my background so that, we can go from there. So I said, I've had lymphedema for 21 years. I have lymphedema in my left leg and my abdomen. And he interrupts me and he said, lymphedema? Lymphedema is not a diagnosis, it's a symptom. What do you mean you have lymphedema? Who diagnosed you with lymphedema? So pretty much I'm there to see the doctor because I need him to give me a referral to go to the occupational therapist who I'm hoping knows a little bit about lymphedema, who can help me. I know when I go in, the doctor's not going to probably be much help to me, but I'm thinking that I tell him I have lymphedema and I'm having issues, that he's going to send me somewhere else and we can get this ball rolling until I finally get to where I need to go. But to my surprise, he sticks his heels in the ground and he is like, "You do not have lymphedema." Rah, rah, rah. And I was like, okay. And he's like, "Do you know anything about lymphedema?" And I go, "Well, actually I do. I know quite a bit about lymphedema." And I'm trying to be cool because honestly, I just want to get him to a point that he's going to refer me to therapy and I can get out of there. So I've got my best behavior on. I'm biting my tongue. I'm not saying anything. Just want him to do what I need him to do so I can go. But it gets worse. He's like, "Well, what's going on then?" And I said, "Well, I've had lymphedema in my left leg and abdomen, but the last few months, my right leg has been swelling off and on, but now it's been consistent and I'm in a lot of pain. And also my abdomen is swelling and it feels really full. I feel very uncomfortable and I can't even bend down to tie my shoes without great discomfort. And I've never had that before. I realize that, I understand what's going on, but I don't know how to fix it because I've never had this issue before." And he says, again, he's arguing that I don't have lymphedema. And he says, "Well, let me see it." And I said, "What would you like to see?" And so I take my jeans off. I have my custom Juzo compression garment on. It goes up my left leg, around my abdomen, down a little bit on my right leg as an anchor. And normally the anchor on my right leg, is just smooth with my leg. But now that my right leg is swollen, there's a lump. My leg's bigger, my knee's bigger, it's swollen. My leg's tight in my jean, my knee is tight in my jeans, my leg is. So I take that off and he's like, "Well, that's not lymphedema. I've seen pictures of lymphedema before and that's not lymphedema. Lymphedema is huge and lymphedema." And I said, "Yes, I understand that." I said, "That's how my leg used to be before I got it under control. And now my leg is this size and I wear a compression garment every day. However, my right leg didn't used to be this size. My right leg used to be much smaller. Now my right leg is bigger than my left leg, and that's the problem." And he says, sit down, guys, you're gonna love this one. He says to me, "I don't see lymphedema. I see a woman that doesn't eat right, that doesn't take care of herself, and definitely doesn't exercise enough." Now, I am literally biting my tongue, as in there may be blood running down my mouth. I don't argue with him. I just say, "Well, I need to go to a physical therapist so I can get this under control. I need to go to an occupational therapist. Really need to go." And he says, "No, you need to see a dietitian and you need to start exercising." And so I put my jeans on and I picked up my cell phone. I said, "Well, I don't think that this is going to work out. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. I think it's best that I just leave. Thank you for your time." And I walked out and went outside and I was so angry. I just started bawling. I was pacing in the parking lot. I was just so angry. Because, it's been a long time since I've had a doctor tell me that I'm not sick, I'm fat. And he didn't say fat, he said overweight, which let's just not even get into it. So it gets better. I go home and it really upset me. It upset me that I'm in a lot of pain. My legs hurting, my abdomen and my back is hurting. I'm not sleeping well. I'm really to the point where I need some help. And this was the only help I could get right now. So I come home and I cried, not just like boo-hoo, but like that ugly cry, like sobbing, ugly, sitting in the corner, balled up, and just bawled for about 2 hours. I actually made a video right then and there, but nobody wanted to see it. It was pretty ugly. So I kind of got myself together, and the next morning, I get a call from his office. I look at my phone, I take a breath, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna answer it. So I answer it, and Ellen, on the other end, says, hello, Peggy. I know that you left the office a little upset yesterday. And I said, well, no, actually I didn't. I left the office yesterday fuming, angry, and frustrated. Well, I just don't understand what your problem was. And I said, well, my problem is I'm in a lot of pain and I need help, and that your doctor wouldn't even listen to me, said that a condition that I've suffered for 21 years doesn't even exist, and then insulted me and still refused to listen to anything that I had to say. And again, did I mention I'm in pain? I haven't been sleeping, so not really at my best right now. And she said, well, I want to make sure you get the help you need. And I said, do you? I said, well, are you going to have your doctor refer me to a occupational therapist so I can get therapy that I need? She goes, oh no. And I said, well, then what do you suggest? What do you suggest? And she says, well, according to your insurance covers psychologist and psychiatrist. And I kind of stopped and I was like, what did she just say? And I go, wait a minute. Did you just say I need to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist? And she goes, well, yes, ma'am, clearly you're just delusional about your health and you definitely need to talk to someone. You're in very much need. And I cut her off and I called her a name, not really proud of myself. I had kept my cool and I called her a name and I hung up the phone. And again, sobbed for a while because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I went to a doctor because I needed help, in pain, go to a doctor. And not only was I not listened to or helped the first day, but they called me the next day and told me I was fucking crazy. It's like, what in the world is going on here? So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably do need a therapist. I definitely probably do, but the fact that she's calling me, telling me that I need to see a therapist because I think I have lymphedema? Really? Anyway, so I guess the reason I'm making this video is because this was a big wake-up call. You know, I remember how frustrating it was having to go to doctors. I remember how frustrating it was before I was diagnosed. I remember how frustrating it was, you know, right up until I quit going to doctors, which is, you know, but by that time I did find a doctor that would at least listen to me and at least try. There's great doctors in this country that know a lot about lymphedema. The problem is it's almost impossible for the majority of us to get an appointment with them, either because our insurance doesn't pay, you know, we don't have the same insurance that they accept. We can't afford to pay for them out of pocket, or we live in different areas of the country. Now for me, I'm here in LA, and I mean, I have amazing lymphedema doctors right down the street from me, but my insurance isn't an insurance that they accept, and lymphedema has stole so much of my time, so much of my life, so much of my finances that, quite honestly, I don't want to pay $450 out of pocket to go to see a lymphedema doctor. Maybe it would help me, maybe I should, but I don't want to. I don't want to give this any more money. So I've made a commitment next week. I really needed a week to breathe because I was really upset. I'm going to go find another doctor, try to get this started again, and hopefully I can get a doctor that will at least listen to me and send me to an occupational therapist, get some massages. She can talk to me about what in the world I need to do to reduce the swelling in my abdomen, because I don't know, it's different. I don't know what to do. And talk to me about what the heck is going on with my right leg. It could be that I've just strained my right leg because I baby my left leg and I've just put too much. I mean, that could be it. It could be that my lymphedema is spreading. I don't know, because I wasn't able to get into a therapist or talk to a doctor that had a clue. But what I do know is that it's not the fact that I don't eat right and that I don't exercise enough. And, you know, a lot of us that have lymphedema, that's one of the things we have to put up with on a regular basis is body shaming and people looking at you and, you know, people making comments about you, and it's tough. You know, you think you're okay and you think that things like that don't bother you, and then something happens and it bothers you because it sucks. It sucks to be, you know, told that you're not taking care of yourself and you're overweight when you have a condition and all you do is take care of yourself. And, you know, I feel like I don't look terrible for a person with lymphedema. I know that I am smaller than the average American woman. But yeah, according to their charts, I probably am overweight. But what a horrible thing to say to someone when they're in pain and they actually came to you to help. So I guess the best I can do for an encouragement in this video is you're not alone, and don't let the fact that the medical community has not caught up all the way yet discourage you. I'm going to keep you posted, and I can guarantee I'm going to figure this out. And I can guarantee I'm going to get this under control. And I can guarantee I am going to keep working and keep moving and keep on my feet and keep going, because that's what I do. If a doctor ends up helping me, that's great. And if they don't, oh well, I'm still going to make it through this. So I finally got through all my sobbing, crying, and got to the point where I thought I could make you a little video. But I did want to document this because this is something that I will look back on with great frustration and irritation. But it's been I think the sobbing wasn't even about me. I think the sobbing was realizing that doctors still treat people like this. 2 decades later, people are still going through the same thing I went through before I was diagnosed. People are still being treated like they're terrible and don't take care of themselves and don't know anything. And, you know, my daughter, she's 25 years old, and she follows this YouTuber. And he posted a video about his girlfriend that was just diagnosed with lymphedema. And of course she sent it over to me, and I'm watching it, and you know, she was not given good information. She's not on the path to get better. She thinks that it's no big deal, and it's sad that doctors still don't have a clue. So I guess we have to do better. We have to do more. We have to keep doing what we're doing and continue to do more. So organizations like Learn or things like that that are doing their best to educate the medical profession, we thank you. We love you. But we got to figure it out, man. We got to do more. Keep talking, keep smiling, and we'll get through this. All right, guys. Bye-bye.